Okay. Oh, what the heck? Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Okay. I remember now when we didn't have the overhead lights, and that was because of the fact that it causes shadows on my desk. So my bead mat is not cleaned off, but I have very good reason for it because the golden beads just got delivered. So even though I knew it would make me a couple of minutes late, I hobbled my butt to the door and grabbed them really quick. So I'm kind of excited to see what they look like. Um, so hold on just a second. I don't have my other light on right now. Oh my goodness, Heather. I'm so excited. Sorry. Uh, in case this is the first time you've been to my channel, my name is Heather Afton, and this is my channel, TT's Trinkets and Treasures. Welcome. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for being here. I hope that you all find it informative and entertaining enough that you will want to hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing if you're not already, and change the notification bell to all so that you never miss the release of one of my videos. Okay, I need to turn on my other small light at least because one of my lights isn't hooked up right now, so I just have the big ring light. So I'm gonna go turn on my other little one. Though I don't know how big of a difference it will make, we will go ahead and turn it on. Wrong color. There we go. Like I said, I don't know how much good it'll be, but I guess we're gonna find out. Okay, so it's completely kismet that the golden bead got her today because we need to we're gonna finish our necklace from Friday. So let's see who is all here. Oh, it wouldn't let me. Dang it. Hold on just a hot minute. I need to go find Tina's um channel real quick so that I can share it. She has not created anything as of yet, but I still would appreciate it if you guys would all go subscribe just so she can see what an amazing and supportive community this is. So hold on. Here is her channel. Said I would share it during Randy, so I just want to put that in real quick. And then I already said hello to Brandy, Mary, Rosanna, Leah, Beth. I was first like, thank you. Yeah, I always do that before, like I go in. My hair is like all discombobulated, but it's okay. I have new golden beads and I'm excited. I was also gathering stuff for, I'm sending out like friend mail to Rosanna and Beth because the three of us are going to be doing a wedding series where we're making jewelry that could be worn by the bride, could be the bridal party, maybe first looks gifts, his and hers type thing, a bunch of stuff. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. So we're really excited that I have stuff to send everybody. And Rosanna, I'm sure you don't like opalite enough to need that you guys can see because I'm glowing in the dark. I'll go down with my mat in just a minute. Gotta get a couple things. But I have like this huge bag of bicones that are like opalite colors. So I'm gonna send Beth a few of them. And then I will send it with all of your opalite. It sits in my stash. I don't ever use it. I bought some very beautiful beads. It's just not my thing. I don't know. It's not my thing. So yeah. Yes, you need to, Beth. Or you just come on here. Either way. I don't care. You just need to be online. Where's my list? I got so excited, I forgot about that. You're gonna get your order. I'm sending it out today, you pill. Anyway, so we're gonna finish the thing. I also got a new microphone. Well, I got two. I got this big one, and then I have two smaller ones. So let me know how you like the volume. I like completely disconnected my old overhead man light because I got a new like box that I could plug everything into. So that was good. I actually think I was having a good hair day, but I think I was wrong. I'm kind of okay with how it looks right now. But yeah. Hi Barbara. It's too loud. Okay. Well, is it wrong for me to ask you to turn down on your phone or TV? I don't know how to adjust it. I just know how to hook it up. I plugged it in. So I don't know. Um, we have the Gollum necklace to finish today. That's what was on the agenda, which is good because I forgot about that and I was scrambling about what I was going to do today. I need to put my mode on recording, so I'm done. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha that. Okay. So I was gathering up little bits and pieces of stuff to send to them, and so I've got a bunch. But Rosanna, you're gonna have opalite bicones coming out of everywhere. I will tell you that there was one thing that really irritated me, and I don't know where I put the other ones, but I had faceted rounds, and they like some of them were really nice, and then some were like cloudy, and they're man-made, so why can't they all be like the same quality? I don't understand. Yes, it's perfect was what I meant to say. Oh, okay, good, good. I understand now. I was like, wait, what? I'm glad everybody can hear because people had told me that they had to turn their TVs up really loud or their phones up all the way, and I know how irritating that is. So, yeah. Sorry, I was splitting strands with that that I've had in a bag for God knows how long. But hey, they're here. I'll show you that because I'm sure Beth would like to see them. So these are like pink and copper, like they flash between the two little hematite spacers that are coming her way. Oh, the other thing that's coming your way are these. Because it seems that my husband asked me to order these 3 times saying we were out. And I have a huge bag full of them. And then I have a box that has a bunch of little bags with them in it. And there's like, the bag has like 2,500 of them in it. And God knows how many are in the box. So, yeah. I'll send you some of those too. That'll help when you're shipping out orders, right? It's just ridiculous. But yeah, so here are some of the pretties. This strand is just some little odds and ends. I only had 3 of the opals, but there's 4 hearts and they're all faceted. Then there's this strand of faceted square, these, and then there are also some teardrops. And like I said, there are 2 strands of rounds, but are some of them are very pretty, and the other ones are all the milky, cloudy colors. So, however, whichever one you like best, you're getting a little bit of each. So that'll be good, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. Uh, so should we take a little sneak peek, guys? Who wants to take a sneak peek? I kind of want to take a little sneak peek. It literally just got here. That's why I was 2 minutes late logging on. So, um, okay. It's a big box. It's probably 18 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches. So they said scissors, where for scissors. What kind of work? Unless I break it, because they used really good tape. They used really good tape. Oh, I'm surprised it got here so fast. Oh, it looks like I'm opening it upside down. I don't think it matters. Oh, ha 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 ha. I'm so excited for this, guys. Linda doesn't want a sneak peek, so she'll come back later. Okay, that's okay. We're just gonna finish the necklace, and then we'll do the earrings, and if there's enough. Oh my goodness. Okay, yes, I need to. This pen is not cutting it, and it keeps breaking. So, and although it's a cheap pen, it's a good pen, if you know what I mean. Those big pens that. And then let's see here. My scissors, there they are. They should make it a little bit easier. And I might move Pixie up. They said there was a surprise for me in the box. There's also a giveaway. Ooh, styrofoam. I hate styrofoam. Okay. I don't like the squeaky noise it makes. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. Funnily enough, nails on a chalkboard don't typically bother me. Yeah, this was the bottom. There's like all the styrofoam backing. You guys. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I need Selena to be here and do her. Then I say, oh my goodness, because it's that good. I'm so excited. She will also be here this weekend. So I'm excited. So this is one of the and there's something taped in, which I know I'm gonna have to like open for the sale. These are so cool. They're a bit darker red. Like the color that is the color this is. So. And of course, none of these can be replicated. I do not see an oops. Oh, probably right here. The glaze doesn't go all the way down into the hole, but it's beautiful. I love the asymmetry of it. And then that's the front. Oh, double-sided pendant. Love that. And then it comes with these two flowers, which I think would be cool to like put a little teeny tiny bead in between and string both of these and have that be your focal. Wouldn't that be cool? Rosanna, what do you think? I think I have some beads like this that I might just be doing that with. And then look at these little tube beads. So pretty. And then there's these ones, which are like a really deep, deep green. And then the red that's showing up lighter on my screen than it is in person. Again, it's see, there was some bubbling on these ones, so that's probably part of the reason. But hey, I say it's texture, right? It's texture. It's not a glaze. I don't want to undo the entire thing. Well, I have to. I want to put it back in. I can repackage it. After all, I do have how many of those bags? Oh, there's two inside of it. Oh, look, they're just pretty little, like, they're just barely off white. They're like a really nice color. This would be perfect for the Pantone color of the year. It would be beautiful. So here's one collection. So far, I don't really see much oops except for some of the like bubbles on this. But again, I say that's texture. That's how it looks to me. And it only seems to be on one side of this bead as well as one side of this bead. You like that? I don't get it. Woo! I need two and not even my color. Heather. What? And the little tubes of match, yes. Yes, those would be really beautiful. I only know about them because of Rosanna, and Rosanna knows about them because of Kimberly Hayes. So, however you came upon Gollum beads, it's a good day. They have the prettiest beads I've ever seen. Yeah. Oh, you said Christmas. These could be like drums, like the little drummer boy. Oh, that would be so cute. I'm like serious about that flower thing. I don't know why I didn't think of doing that until I pulled those two beads out, but we will definitely be doing it. And I'm going to put those back in there. Okay. Should we see what the for Heather is? Ah, let's see. Yeah, and thank you to all of them. Yes, they'll be sold by collection. So yeah. Oh, I thought that you heard about them from Kimberly Hayes. I apologize. Again, however you heard about them is a great day, right? Wow, whatever this is, they packed it really, really, really good. This gets my children will be happy to know that I have gotten back for every Christmas we picked like one kid and like wrapped the heck out of their gift that year. And it would take like an hour to get it open. Okay, here you go, kids. Somebody got mom back for it. I'm really scared. I don't forget. Okay, I think I got it. I'm excited. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. Oh, oh my goodness. Is that not absolutely beautiful? The blue in it are like, it's evading me. The blue and white agate beads, I cannot think of it. It does not have a hole. That's the only thing. But I don't know that it was fired a second time. So I'm thinking I might be able to very carefully put one like right here at the top. What is the blue? Oh my goodness, the blue lace agate. Yeah, that. That's the color of this blue. Or like the toile fabrics that are blue and like not quite bright white, but like this white. Oh my goodness. Those are that is just stunning. Oh, I want to cry. It's so pretty. This is why I wanted to do the interview with him and why I wanted to help him promote his sale this year because they were coming to Tucson and weren't sure what they were going to be able to, weren't sure that they'd be able to, uh, make the same kind of money that they're used to making while in Tucson, and they did it. This one says Narwhal Art. Hmm. Is this his daughter's line? Yeah, you could wire wrap this. That's very true. It's very delicate. Um, it's not very thick. It's so pretty. I cannot wait to create with this. I'm gonna have to get some like dark blue leather, but like 1 or 1.5 millimeters, nothing bigger than that, because I want this to be the focus. I don't want it to get lost in really thick leather. So I think that's how, oh my God, that's so beautiful. Can you guys believe that he had never been interviewed? When we do the next interview, he's trying to talk Tammy into going on with him. So hopefully we will get to meet Tammy or Tammy as well, because he said she's the like creative mind behind the collections. Like he'll have an idea and then she takes his idea and, as he, to quote him, makes magic out of it. So, which I thought was one of the sweetest things I have ever heard a man say about his wife. Like, like for him to say, "Oh, I'll just get a random idea and I'll tell Cammy and she makes magic out of it." Like, that's a beautiful compliment to for a husband to give. It's like the sweetest. Hi, Cammy. The Misfits got here, and I'm so excited. Ooh. So like this is a brownish gray kind of, but look, I love how like these little dots are, they're like inset more, and it just makes it so pretty. And then that's the other side. Again, there's like a little bubbling right there. The color didn't go all the way around the edge, but I don't know why they wouldn't have sold this, because it's absolutely gorgeous. And then it comes with like these two beads, and of course, colors I probably wouldn't have thought to put together, but they go together beautifully. It's like a nice, like, I guess, corn yellow and like lime green with black around the bottom. Very pretty. These look like antiques. So see, you'll see that it has a little bit of where the glaze didn't quite go the way she liked. But you guys, these are truly one of a kind. They don't make any more of these. They won't, so if you get one of these collections, you'll be the only one to ever have it, unless you sell it, of course. But so I think that these are kind of mad. Okay, I don't know what happened to my unboxing of their box, but this is what it would have looked like. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? It almost looks like leather art. Like in person, that's the way it looks. It literally looks like they impressed on a piece of leather and then dyed it. That's what it looks like. Hi, Heather. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate you. If I missed anybody else, mwah. This is gorgeous, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. And then you get like the two brown square beads. And again, the glaze didn't go all the way on both sides, but it's still absolutely gorgeous. This is beautiful. And again, they will truly be one of a kind. Nobody else will have these. And again, I don't know. I mean, I understand because I'm the same way. I can't tell you how many times I've taken apart and remade a bracelet for, and like my kids and my husband, and even some of you have been like, it was beautiful. What did you mean you had to fix it? But yeah, so he has a few that have letters in it. Hey, that's a guessing game in and of itself. Okay, so we have Y, P, H, S, U, N, P, and A. I have no idea what this spells. Sorry. This is like one of those letter games. Sun happy? Is that what we think it is? I do these every day because of my memory issues. Let's see if that's what it is. Or happy sun? I don't know. I guess we'll see when we open. I'm sure that the vocal will tell us what it is. Yeah. Aww. This would be an amazing baby shower gift. Amazing. And it's gender neutral because this is more of like a blue while the foot. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, we are. Um, Mine do too. This is what I will tell you. You either need to start making jewelry wearing gloves or use hand sanitizer on your hands before you start working with it, and then wipe it off when you're finished. It's the oils in your skin. It happens to me as well. I wipe all of my pieces down after I come on here. Well, not all of them, because some of them I don't mind if they tarnish a bit. You guys, if I was rich, you guys would never see these. Like ever. Because I would just pay for all of them and keep all of them myself. But ooh, yes, Rosanna. Oh, you've got see. Okay, so let's see what this one is. Let's see how good your girl is. If we can figure out what this word is. These are always are either W's or M's, so maybe it's sun, joy. Yeah. Your girl's fast, right? So this could be sun, joy, wow, or mom. Either or. You guys just want to like, you guys are like, oh, let's just start the sale now. Aww. Oh my goodness. This is like, you are my sunshine. I won't make you hear me sing. I ruined my voice by smoking for way too many years. That is so cute. Yes, you could use all of these for like a mobile idea. That's a great idea, Rosanna. See, that's why I like doing this stuff live, because I love how we like all can bounce ideas off of each other. It's just amazing. I'm trying to see if I see any other like. You guys want to see what the giveaway is? You want to see what the giveaway is? There's mom and the son, yeah. So this will be a giveaway for the day of the sale. Oh my word. I know somebody who's gonna like this one. Again, there's like some little, I don't even know if that's like a quality problem because it's really pretty like that. So this is part of it. That's not even all of it. No, Tammy, these are the misfits. So these are going to be a sale that I do here on my channel. So these are ones that didn't meet Tammy's very strict quality control. And I believe it was Tim Evans that brought up during the interview. Vlad was talking about how they had to go through a process to figure out the best way to place the beads in the kiln so they don't get ruined or touched. They tested glaze on them, all of those kind of things. And they just didn't meet the quality control. And so Kim was like, where are they? And he's like, oh, I've just got boxes of them here in the studio. And they said, you should let Heather do a misfit sale. So we explained what a misfit was, and he loved the idea. Hi, Tina. I'm so glad you're here. I shared the link earlier. Let's go ahead and share it again for anybody that just came in. So there are no videos on her YouTube channel as of yet, but I want everybody to go subscribe. I was her first subscriber. Everybody go subscribe so that she knows what a fantastic and supportive community this is. Okay, there it is. The blue and brown, Beth, are you drooling? Oh my gosh. Beth loves this blue color. That's so pretty. So this will be a giveaway the day of the sale. So I'm really excited about that. That will be fun to have. And then I have some, I obviously have what I ordered just for the, like, they weren't made to orders. They were the ones that like I managed to snag the day of the sale. So I have some beads in there that I am thinking about as well. Tammy, if you missed it, you have to see what they sent me. It really does remind me of blue of like Twal. It's so pretty, and I love that it's matte. I know you're not a matte fan, Rosanna, but I think this would be an exception for you. But that's just my thoughts. I think that is one that you would make a exception for. Okay, so the sale is going to be, I'm not sure yet. Vlad asked me to give him at least a week because he wants to do an email blast to all of his customers, like his customer list, so they all know he wants to be able to promote it on his site. His daughter's going to promote it for the sale as well, and so it'll be great. Yes, Tina, they're ceramic. This is from Gollum Studios. She or it's a husband and wife design team. They've been doing it for over 20 years now. And I just got brave and asked if he would want to come on Beading Besties and let me interview him about his jewelry journey. And it led to this sale. These beads are what we called misfits, meaning that they didn't meet Cammy's quality control standards, which are very high. So, hi, cousin. Anita Simmons is my cousin. I can't tell you like second, third. I don't know all that. That's my cousin, everybody. Um, but yeah. See, this is another one that I would want to like just put like the smallest little bead on the inside and turn that into like a pendant. You could like hang it this way. That would be so pretty. This dusty rose and then the darker like mauve and then the brown with the lime green and cream perfection. How did this not meet quality? I can see there's a little bit of a bubble, like right, like, yeah, the line's not straight, but that's okay. We are not going to complain. These are pretty. Only the dots have glaze on them. The rest of the bead is matte. That's so cool. Yeah, so everybody's got to show up because should everything go well, this is the first of what he says could be many, many sales. So he said they like the way I described their beads. And yeah, I just wanted more eyes on this talented husband and wife. Oh, this one is diamond. Oh, oh, that one is still signed. So pretty. He said that they intentionally put quote unquote good beads with ones that they didn't. So not every bead included in these are necessarily misfits, but something in them is a misfit. So, and it's just gonna be so much fun. Oh wow, this one's got 3 tape ball. So as you can see, they're special, and this is their the number that they gave all of them. They sent me a total of 50 collections to do a sale for. So I'm probably gonna put up a poll. Would that be too many for you guys? You know that your girl likes to chat. So getting through 50 of them could be, and because I told them that I would do the shipping and everything. Oh, there's those. And this is all one set of beads. And obviously I don't know pricing yet. Oh, those are beautiful pendants or really long earrings. Pair those two together. Do you guys think that 50 would be, it would probably be a 2-hour sale, but most of my sales are 2 hours long. And then there's a larger tab that goes with those. They're so pretty. They said that some of the beads that are in here are like some of the first ones that they ever made. So that's just awesome. But yeah, so like you can see each set has a lot of options. I mean, you could do these each a pendant. So there's 2, there's 4, there's 5 here, and then you have a couple of like coordinating beads that go with it as well. So, and you can sign up for their email blast by going on the Facebook page, which I will link the day of the sale. I don't have it up right now. That was bad of me. We really need to do the you think 2 sales? You're a misfit? Yeah, right? I still have one of the first golden beads I bought about 13 years ago. Yes. Okay, two separates, but I only have one giveaway. Oh, I guess I could do the second giveaway. Yeah. So we'll do the one that Vlad and Tammy included, and then I'll put one in too. I haven't gotten my bill for the MTOs. I have a feeling it's going to be quite a big one. So I'm glad to know that all of you love golem beads as much as you do, because I'm gonna have a lot to work with. I'm obsessed with the ones that just the polka dots are glazed. I kind of like that. See, and then this one, oh, these are also only part of them are glazed. Ooh, these are 2-hole beads. Oh, leather. Oh my gosh. So these are 2-hole beads. These are just one, but they have the really pretty light blue that matches this bead. And I'll have proper lighting the day of the sale, guys. That's one thing I want to make sure that is absolutely set up perfectly, because I want you guys to be able to see these in their best light, no pun intended. Oh, my hands are not wanting to cooperate today. I'm surprised Kim's not here. Risha, did I say hi? If I didn't, hello. That's something that hasn't been decided yet, because we did talk about that actually. This one is like a wing, so it has a hole on either side. We did discuss that. And it's something that Glad and Cammy talked about. I have their delivery price, is what he said. There's paperwork in here. Oh, that's so cute. And I love like the blues and yellows together, and then boom, let's throw in some dark red too. Love that. These are so pretty. So because these are truly one of a kind, we have talked about it, about doing it auction style. Last we talked, he said that he was going to talk that over with Cammy, and then he wanted to wait until I had the paperwork with his delivery price. Which is just like anytime anybody gets something from them, they send a delivery price. And then if they're going to be selling it, they obviously have I guess the right, I don't know, to like put in their so they make a profit off of them as well. But I don't know. It might be cool to just do maybe one of the sales. I love what she does. Just like her mom and great grandma. That's what great aunties are for, to keep her positive. Let's just change top. Thank you, Anita. Yes, I am crafty. My great grandma was an amazing woman. My daughter's middle name is Loran, and that's because my great grandma's middle name was Laura. I have a Laura Kelly. And Stephen's grandmother is Shirley Ann, and they were both such strong matriarchs in the family. And I wanted Jerica to have that legacy. And so her middle name is Loran, Jerica Loran Aston. And so yeah, it was really important to me. And then people started to like, they decided to put their 2 cents in about who she was she was named after. So we ordered birth announcements and sent them out to everybody that said, no, this is who she's named for. This one might have to stay a surprise. I got it. So there's this one. Look at the rose. I need to send you pictures of your great niece. She'll be here this weekend, but I have pictures from her birthday party and stuff like that. I mainly use Facebook for my businesses. So, oh, this one has 2 holes too. That would make it so easy to do a lark's head knot on here, the like, and have the strands be separated so that you could do a double-stranded necklace or bracelet, whichever. And it would make it really cool to like lark's head knot, because when you do a knot, it makes the strands really tight together. This would like make it so it didn't happen that way because the holes are separate. So that would be really, really cool. So that's another option. Oh, I think this one is the rose. And my great grandma threw me a baby shower in Milwaukee. And everybody that still lived there all got together. Instead of unwrapping gifts, they showed them off and like wrapped them. And then she sent me a big box with everybody's gifts, which was so sweet. I think this is a heart. It is indeed. And this side has swirls and this side does not. So again, double side knot. Maybe you're feeling a little more whimsical one day, and another day you just want the red. Options. These are going to be so much fun. Obviously, if we did auctions and pieces went for a considerable amount of like go way above what their delivery fee was, I would of course I I couldn't keep that all for myself. I would have to, because that's just not, no, this is their art and I don't deserve to profit off of it more so than they would. To me, that would be wrong. I couldn't do that. That's not who I am. So it might be a good idea to do one where it's an auction and one where it's sale. That's a really pretty donut pendant, and there is a hole on the top. But you could also do like a cat's paw knot or whatever else. But yeah, I have the feeling that you're going to buy them all, Heather. I wish I spent a lot of money on MTOs in the most recent sale. And then these were the, I'm sorry, I didn't even put the focal down. I'm just with the others. I apologize. So I would probably coordinate with other content creators that do sales to make sure that there's not a sale going on at the same time as this. Like with Sam's and uh Gemstone Orphanage, I wouldn't want there to be something going on the same Saturday because A, because I want as many eyes on these, and B, because it wouldn't be beneficial for them to do so either. So, but I'm also going to be doing we're gonna design a line that's all that has dogs because I'm a dog person and they have all the cat and bird beads. So we're gonna make some for some dog ones. There will be some like memorial type pieces as well. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. So this is also like matte, except for the flowers, the leaves, and the little polka dots. The detail on these beads just blows me away. It blows my mind. I think this one just says, yeah, this one's just a happy one. But there's 4 of the little tube beads. And then there's another 2-hole bead. Oh, 2 2-hole beads. Oh, this would make the coolest. Oh my god, there's a total of 50 of them. You guys, there's 2 holes. Oh, I could only see these in a bracelet. Because to do it in a necklace would be to turn it sideways. And I see this like here and here with like, yes, I would probably use these and the word happy on one side, like have the word happy on one side of the necklace, and then have either all 4 of these or 2 of, well, no, because you'd need 2 if you were going to do it sideways. I don't know. My creative brain is like going, those are so pretty. I love those. And you guys, the first time I ordered golden beads, I expected like the big round ones like this to be like, I don't know, 14, 15 millimeter. And then I expected like the smallest ones to be like, maybe 10 millimeter at best. And so when I got my first order, I was blown away. I was like, are you kidding me? You can make so many things with one single collection. That just, oh. But your girl's ethical, so, oh, this is gonna be so pretty. Okay. Let's pause a second. Let's finish our necklace from Friday, and then we'll come back to this. But I will keep these off to the sides so I remember where I left off. Also, does anybody remember who keeps bringing these beads up? Because I found them, so I want to send that person some of them because they love them. I cannot think of who it is though. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and finish our necklace, which is right here. And I'm gonna do 3 millimeter for up around the neck because I only have such a small piece of the 1.5 millimeter, which I want to do earrings with. So, and possibly a bracelet if there's enough left over. I'm hoping by not cutting it, I don't have as much waste for the bracelet design that I want to do. But we're going to start by grabbing some 20 gauge craft wire. And you're going to want to cut a piece that's about, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches. Because you're going to need, you would need 2 of those. Let me do the first one and see if that's going to be long enough so that I don't cut 2 pieces that weren't long enough. Yeah, 8 inches. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to turn a loop. So we're just gonna make our little 90-degree angle, just like that. I'm going to use where is my 6-step? I thought I put everything away before we started. But I did get a little excited. Okay, guess we're using my other runners because I don't see them right there. No, they're right here on the mat because you already grabbed them, Heather. Are you guys all freaking? I bet you guys were all like, Heather, they're right freaking there. They're right there, Heather. Oh my gosh. Can you tell I'm a little excited about the beads that came in today? So I'm going to go at an angle into the bend of the wire. And I'm going to go up, over, and down. And then I'm going to go horizontal from the mat or parallel to the mat. And I'm just going to bend this back. Then I'm going to switch hands. I like to kind of pull my wire a little bit just to make sure it gets there. But we need to attach it to the necklace. I almost didn't do that. I could still attach it using a jump ring, but I'd rather it be all one piece. So I'm going to need a second pair of pliers now. Put your scissors out of the way. And I'm going to grab the loop with one pair of pliers so it doesn't distort my loop when I go to start wrapping this. And you know your girl normally only does one wrap, but on this one, I'm going to do a couple because we're wrapping around the piece of leather. And if this gets to be too complicated, I will cut it off of here and just join it together with the jump ring. It'll just depend on how, like, already not around as much as I thought I did. A little bit further. Cut off my end. And then we're going to measure out where we are on this. How long the necklace is and how long we're going to want our piece of leather to be. So right now, do you guys measure your stuff from where the beads start or from the bottom of the focal? Because some people do it from like the bottom of the focal, but I've always done it from the start of the beads. So yeah, Roseanne's like, they're right there. Yep, they all just woke up. If we do it from here, there's just under 5 inches. So if I wanted it to be an over the head, I want it to be at least, I don't know, 20 inches. Let me see how long it has to be to go over my. Okay, I want a little bit more. So yeah, that would be 14. 23 inches. We have 5 here on either side. So I would need to cut a 14-inch length and make it a 24-inch necklace, right? A 24-inch necklace. And then it would be, that doesn't look long enough to me. I'm going to do 16 inches just to be on the safe side because I don't want somebody to not. And then if it's not long enough, I can always cut it in the middle. So I'm just going to join my piece of leather. Oh, oops. First, I'm going to bend the leather straight out from where the loop is, like so. And I'm going to take my piece of leather on this side. I don't know the 20 gauge wire. What's the best? At least not. I forgot theirs is not half. Yeah, I can't use this. My hands aren't strong enough for half hard 20 gauge wire. I will make jump rings out of this. I'm glad I didn't cut 2 pieces. Okay, so that's not dead soft, so I need 22 gauge. No, that's 20 gauge. Oh, I got paper. It's like I knew I had a piece earlier. So instead, because this is thinner wire, I'm gonna pull off a much larger piece. I'm gonna cut about 16 inches so that I have enough to wrap it around the leather because it's 3 inches. So if we were using the thicker wire, you wouldn't need as many wraps, but I want it to be like really secure. I tested 22 gauge wire on a piece of leather earlier and pulled with all my might to try to take it off, and I couldn't get it off. So I'm also going to cut or bend down further on this one than I did on the thicker wire. That way, I can wrap around the wire a little bit to bulk it up some. So I'm just going to make a loop exactly the same way I just did. Facing, sorry, I'm off camera. I apologize. Not a whole bunch of wraps. I'm going to squeeze this down. Neat. And then I will pull this last one tight and put my end. And I forgot to join it to the necklace. That's okay. I have a jump ring I can use. Okay. And then again, I just want to bend the wire to where we have a 90-degree angle right above the wraps. Since I'm not wrapping around that directly. So then you're just gonna put the wire not quite flush with the wraps because that would be a very difficult start. At the end, if you don't like the way this looks, you can always cut off the very end. You're just gonna hold the leather and you're gonna start wrapping around. And you can do this neat or you can do this messy. However you want it to be. I got pretty good wrap on this. So I'm going to start going back down so I can go over the top of this. I'm going to go ahead and cut my leather right now. These are my junky cutters, Linda. Don't get mad at me. Be very careful when you're doing this that you don't accidentally snip your wire. Just I don't want to do that. I'm going to bend my loop down a minute. Because I want to go back down now. And I'm going to bolt this up. And that's why I didn't want, I'm going to kind of bend this so it's more centered with the leather, which we can do once we're finished as well. And so I'm just going to go back down the way that I came. And I probably won't get it as clean on the way back down because the wire has already been worked with. And then we're going to go over the end right there and then down towards the loop, back up to the leather. Okay. So I have about, I don't even know what I said I cut that. So grab this or cut this. And I'm going to pinch that end in. And now I'm going to grab pliers so I can recenter my loop. So it's a messy wrap. If you don't like the way this looks, you can always use like end caps on either side of the leather and make the connection that way. I wanted it to be a little bit like more organic looking. So I decided that I was going to do it this way. I'm going to cut another piece of wire. And like I said, I don't even remember how much I cut last time. So I'm just going to pull it out. I'm going to take out a little bit of the movement in it, but I don't want to overwork it before we even get started. So this piece of wire is 13.5 inches. And I am going to do more wraps around this time, but around the top part, but the wire is like curving down up against my mat. So if I'm going to try to do it all under camera, but if it gets to be a little too fiddly, which is a completely technical term, then I might have to pull it back down. You gotta come away from the third step. You want to be very careful if you're wrapping while still on your 6-step bail making pliers, because if you squeeze too hard, it will break the loop. It'll weaken it and or break the loop. So you want to be careful because you don't ever want to get like a little divot in the wire while you're doing this. I'm going to try to get at least, okay, there we go. Got more wraps this time. And then again, we're just going to make our little bend where the wire wraps end. You're going to grab your leather and put the leather just about flush with your loop, and you're going to start wrapping. And if you're more of a perfectionist and want to sit there and make this a completely neat wrap, that is absolutely your prerogative. I need to see how far I went on the other side. That's the same. Yeah. I don't know. There's something about the golden beads that always make me like want to go more natural, probably because they are such beautiful pieces. My scissors said, nope, we're not cutting that leather, baby. So again, just be very careful when you cut it off. I'm going to kind of bend the loop down just slightly so that I don't hit the wire with any part of my cutter. And I'll put the loop back into place. And then you're just going to start wrapping down. And just, I must have cut a smaller piece last, or a longer piece last time, because as you can see, I don't have quite as much to work with on this side, so, and I had extra on the other side, so. And I'm not kidding, this is very organic. It's a very messy wrap. Who knows? I will more than likely probably go and clean this up a little bit after the fact, because that's just my brain. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it. It's a one of a kind, right? Okay. So now we're going to make jump rings, and I'm going to utilize the half hard 20 gauge wire from earlier. So I'm going to make sure my end is flush. And I'm going to do probably just the first step. Yeah, I'm going to do the first step. That way it's not too big. Okay. Since I'm already doing this, I'm just going to keep winding because I would lose a few jump rings if I were to just cut it and end with a scrap and then restart. And so I'd rather just wrap the entire bit, and then I can cut these when I get done here, the rest of them. So now I'm going to go up to where about the middle of this first ring, just to make sure that it's that when the jump rings start, they're round, and I'm going to flip it. These ones do not like to cut jump rings for some reason. I'm going to separate my links a little bit with the other. I had a piece of scrap wire. No, that's not spool. Just gonna grab a piece of craft wire like this. I'm gonna make a 90-degree angle as if I was getting ready to wrap a loop, but I'm not. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this end through the loop. I'm going to feed the wire through the loops, and then I'm just going to turn. And I like to turn from both angles so that it goes faster, but this will separate your links more so that when you cut them, you're not like going over part of the next jump ring, causing a weak point. Once you're done, that's all there is to it. And then you're just going to flip your pliers so that you get a flush cut, 2 flush cuts that match. And then you're going to have to cut off the little end that wasn't flush. And again, go and flip it. We only need 2. So that's all I'm going to cut right now. My pliers, and we're going to touch our leather. And then I'm going to show you how to do the earring. Just going to loop through both the leather and onto the beading wire on the necklace itself. And then this one will come down around here. And then we'll see how long it is and if my math was crazy. Oh, that's not bad at all. So it's hitting, it easily went over my head. See where, I'm sorry, I know I'm blowing. Oh, turn this down a little bit. Hopefully you can see it better. So it hits like right there. So it's nice. I don't think I turned it down at all, except for on my bead mat. But like I didn't even have to take my glasses off, and it's not like down to here. It's like right where your bosom starts. So there is that. There's the necklace. Okay, like I said, I'm going to start the earrings at the best way I can put it is that they're on the spool, only it's obviously not on a spool of wire. I need to hope that I have another tube bead up here. I do, because I put one up there earlier and then heard it clink off. So And that's where I keep like my little things like that. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to string the bead on, and then we're going to make a little loop, and we're going to wire wrap around that, and then you can put that on an ear wire. Only I don't want that big of a loop underneath. Just so you get like a nice teardrop shape, you're going to loop down. Okay, so we have our loop, we have our bead on, like so. I always need the piece of leather that I'm wrapping to be on top. I'm going to grab my tube bead and place it over the leather. And then I'm going to come up and under, and I'm going to go once and twice. I'm only going to do twice because I want to try to make sure that I have enough for a bracelet, but I don't even know where I put the rest of the collection. I think it's right here, but if not. And then you're going to tug up here to tighten it. And then if you want the loop smaller or bigger, you would adjust that by pulling on the end of that. And I do want my loop to be a little bit smaller. So that we're now a little load. It would hang just like that. You could also, if you were okay with having a longer leather earring like this, you could put a silver spacer on either side as well. And I'm kind of leaning towards that. I think we would still have enough for another one. So you can also just pull this and the knot comes undone and you just pull the center knot out. I want to see what it looks like with the silver spacer, which I have or should have right here. Or then just take this apart for nothing. I kind of got it in a really good place. Oh, wrong one, Heather. Metal is in this one. No, you're not right there. You could also do a bead cap on either side, as well if you wanted to. And I don't think these are gonna fit on the leather, but they would look so cool if they would. It's like barely too small. I wonder if I stick. These are just really cool, like Tibetan spacers. Oh, it was already about this size. And I don't know where my next size is. So I'm trying to do this away from the mic in case anybody, so that nobody's bothered by it. I'm just sanding it a little bit in the hopes that if I cut this at an angle, it will let me put it on my leather without scratching off the color. And it will, but it's being stubborn. Where's my rotary? I have really deep drawers in my desk, and that's bit I needed was all the way in the back. Oh, let's see here. It needs to be just smaller than this one, or I need to use a diamond bit, which I might do better. This one fits in there. Nope, just too big. This one, that one should be good. If you don't have a rotary tool, I highly recommend it. You use it in so many different aspects. Sometimes I use mine to grind off any like sharp print bead, like when you go to put a print bead on, if it gets tight. So I've used it for that. I use it for applications like this. And I'm gonna go slow. Oh, that's an annoying noise. I'm sorry. We might forgo. Where are my little? You don't have to have the metal underwear when you do this. I don't know if it would make it easier. I'd be worried about tarnish, so I might just find a different bead to use. I think these will work. Although, look, they're kind of big too. Yeah. I took that off upside down. I don't know why. That was crazy. Okay. So much for these being good for a 2 mm hole or 2 mm leather. I don't think this is 2 mm. Nope. That one won't go through either. Come on. Okay, maybe we won't do a spacer. I'm trying to remember what I did with the rest of this kit, because I don't think it's this. I think this is all one kit by itself. Though the little round ones, we could do it with these instead, and then save the lentil for on a bracelet. We might do that, because look, that's pretty. And then you can wear it with just about anything. And then I only have one turquoise piece? That can't be right. Maybe it is. Hold on, let me grab my golden quick here. See something else in here. I have two of the lighter pink. I think I ordered a bunch of sets of these, so this is the lighter pink. I was going to see if I had another turquoise to go on a bracelet on either side. And I have two in this kit that would go with that. And that would be a very pretty bracelet. So I think that's ordered. Oh, good. I'm glad you got it, Kim. Hello, you found me. Yeah, you were asking where I was, and I was like, what do you mean? I was on Monday and Tuesday, then I was on Sunday, I was on Friday, and then I didn't go on last night because we were at I had my sister-in-law's bridal shower yesterday. Got that little cutie. I'm going to get it made into like to look like they're beads going all around, and then I'm gonna tattoo TTT down like diagonally within the heart. So that will be the final thing. But she had like what they were calling a hot sheet, which meant like you could only pick from that. But that's what I picked. But yeah. No, I have a regular schedule. I'm on Monday mornings and Friday mornings. Then I'm on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights. And then if I have a sale, I'm on. Or if I'm feeling up to it on a Tuesday or Thursday, I'll pop in. But I'm on Mondays and Fridays. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I need water, not coffee. Okay, so here, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna put the pink on the earrings. I think I want to do, I think, what do you guys agree with that? Should I do the pink on the earrings and use the turquoise to pull out? Because there's turquoise all around the flower. I felt like pink would be obvious and this makes it pop, which is good because then it's pretty even on here. Does everybody like that? No, 2 p.m. Eastern doll, and then Wednesdays at 8 p.m. your time, and Sundays at 5 or 8 p.m. your time. I'll type up the whole schedule for you, hon. You agree, Tammy? Okay, cool. Somebody's agrees with me. That's all I need. Let me cut the end of this lip real quick because it got kind of mangled. I'm trying to get it through a bead cap. Yeah, I like that because it sits more naturally. So we're just gonna put our loop, create our loop. Again, I like the piece of leather that I'm wrapping with to be on top. It just makes it easier. I know you're saying that's too small of a loop, but when all is said and done, you'll see that it actually was too small of a loop. So we're gonna grab our tube bead. And I only don't call this a barrel knot tube because everybody knows the curved tube as the barrel knot tube. So I don't want to confuse anybody. That's why I just call this a tube bead or a straight tube bead. When I use the round one, because I need it to go over the top of a bead as I'm wrapping, I call those barrel knot tubes because I learned a lot of jewelry techniques. All of my beginning jewelry techniques, taking macrame from like a large wall art piece or whatever else, and then shrinking those same knots down to use in jewelry. I've watched every single one of Kelly Sutton's videos, and I didn't even know her last name was Sutton until like 3 years into it, and that's because I was friends with her Kelly's Bead Boutique page or profile, not her like personal one. And so, but it's funny because that's like my baby, my dog, my Shih Tzu. That's like my heart. Her name is Sut. So, but she was named after a football player. That's a whole other story for another day. No, all of our dogs are named after Denver Broncos players, past and present. You have to, our rule had been that they had to have played for at least 3 years or 3 seasons. Where did my toothpick just go? See, didn't I just have it in my hand? Oh my goodness. That is so embarrassing. You guys did not see that, okay? Oh my goodness. Oh, never ending blooper reel. I've said it once and I'll just say it. I've said it at least 10 times. I really can't believe I did that though. I didn't even go through the steps. I apologize. Start over. Oh my gosh. Oh, whew. Well, now you know why in my little blurb at the beginning of the video I always say that you'll find it informative and entertaining enough because TT's Trinkets and Treasures is a never-ending blooper reel. Oh my gosh, because I don't edit my videos. So 1, 2. Oh, I didn't do it again. Okay, so you're going to fold one side down into like a little loop like that because this is the loop that you're gonna put your air wire on. You're gonna put it through the bead and you're going to put the long piece of leather that we're gonna wrap with on top. Then you're going to put your tube bead on the leather. I'm putting it in between the loop because it obviously won't fit over all the pieces. And then you're going to take your leather, you're going to go underneath the tube bead towards you. You're going to go over, and then the second wrap needs to be up under the first wrap, like that, towards the hand you're holding the leather with. Now, a lot of people like to do 3 wraps. I prefer 2 for most things. If I'm doing a full bracelet that has a lot of knots, I'll start with 3 and then I'll go to 2 throughout the bracelet and then I end with 3. I will show you why I like 2 as soon as I finish the knot. So you're going to take it, and after you've gone underneath the leather, you're going to go through the tube bead and up. I always recommend that you take the tube bead off at this moment, not when it gets to the end, because it can mar the leather at the very end when it bends over itself. Then you're just going to pull the leather down while holding your knot in place, and then you're just going to slowly tighten this. You don't want to like pull on it like crazy. Because you don't want it to snap. But the reason I like a double wrap is because you have this side that has like the straight lines, but on the opposite side, it crisscrosses itself, and that's the look I prefer for most things. I started out only doing that for men's jewelry, and then I was like, but why, Heather? And so I do it for this as well. And then we're going to kind of like wiggle this until it's in just the right spot. I think I'm okay with the length of that, or the size of that loop as well. I kind of like that. So I'm going to do my final pull on it. And you're going to want to kind of like push it down like this to get it to where the leather doesn't look like it's being forced to be in that position. I don't know how to put that. And then I will show you how I glue it after we do the other one. So we're going to come right here, and we're going to trim that. Make sure that you do not get your loop or any of your wraps. And I'll show you how to disguise this. Did I ever find that tool? Uh-oh. I don't even know where my manual one is. Well, I'll tell you, or wait, is that it? No, it is not. Um, I didn't find something, but I can also show you guys. If you have a hard time holding the two beads because the dexterity of your hands doesn't work, this is also a knotting tool. So you will see that it has like this little channel on this side and on this side, and you wrap around this and then go through the tube or through the channel to go through to the other end and then pull it off and do it. So this works really well for days that I'm having bad hands. On a day where I'm trying to use as little of this leather as I can, so I have enough for both pairs of earrings and a bracelet. I don't want to use this because you have to have more leather to include the circumference of this, so there's more waste. Not a lot, but on a day like right now, it's not what I would prefer to do. I am going to go ahead and cut this end flat. And then we're going to take this and we're going to make ourselves another loop. We're going to kind of match it up with the other one to make sure that it's roughly the same size. Currently it's a little too big. And like I said, you're going to want to kind of like push this up so that it's sitting on it. I really love this pink on this black leather. It would be beautiful on brown leather, whichever you chose. Okay, so we have our loop. This is our wrapping wire. We're going to take our tube bead and we're going to put it, I'm putting it in the center of the loop. I'm going to pull this up here so that if you've never done a barrel knot, you can see a little more clearly. So you see I've got leather right there. That's the bottom of the loop. And I'm just going to hold this. And I'm holding my fingernail up against the tube bead to hold it in place without marring my leather. And then you're just going to go up underneath the loop and the tube bead and around. Then a second time underneath. You don't want it to sit up here. Otherwise, your knot just doesn't look as nice. Although, yeah. So, and when you're going through the tubing stuff, it just makes it more difficult because you don't want to go in from this end of the tube. It doesn't make the knot. So then you're going to hold on to your knot so that it doesn't release. You're going to take your leather and you're going to go through the tube bead. I always switch hands right there. Take the tube off. And then I'm going to tighten this enough that when I let go, it doesn't start to unravel, which is more of an issue if you're using like coated leather, like the bronze leather I used on the necklace the other day. I just put that away. That's the thing. I literally just had it. So I always recommend to everybody, I'll just show you a sample, to everybody that is starting out with knotting to use a matte or flat leather, not the coated leather. And the reason is this is slick and it's a lot harder when you're learning knotting to begin with to knot with leather like this. I have a whole drawer full of so many colors that are all coated like this that I got when I first started, and I don't use it as often. I mean, right now it's the time of year when I need to place my order with Leather Cord USA, which is the only place that I recommend to get leather from. Their leather is hands down the best strength. Like even their 1 mm leather, you really have to pull on it really hard for it to break. And when I say really hard, I mean like yank on it, which you wouldn't want to do because you're not going to have control over your project if you're doing things like that. But I love their leather. It's nice, it's supple. You don't have to go through the process of, they have it on a thick enough core that until you get down to the last little bit on there, it's not like, it doesn't have a, you don't have to stretch the leather by hanging it and putting a jewelry weight on it, which is what you can do for pearl knotting, anything like that, to like loosen up. And I'll tell you, if that's what it's done, take this and go on like a metal table leg, any kind of round metal, and just do this back and forth, and you end up with a straighter piece of leather when you're done with that. And then you don't have to worry about the jewelry weight or any of that, which I only use it very sparingly, to the point that it's not right here. Because I very rarely use it. So, okay. So we've got our little loop. The only thing we want to do before we do the final stretch is to make sure that it is the same size on both sides. And I did kind of have to wiggle my knot up on the loop. So I just pulled up here to loosen that right there, so that we can get it the same. I'm happy with that. Okay. So now I'm going to hold on to my leather, not with my nail, with the flat part of my thumb and index finger. And I like to put the leather in the crease of my finger so that it feels more natural. My finger kind of wraps around the end of it. We're going to pull that. I want my loop just a tiny bit longer. There we go. Okay. And now we're going to cut off this piece of leather. I really need to get some sharper scissors. And then what I do, which I don't have my thread burner right here, and I apologize for that. Kelly Sutton teaches that you can just put Sharpie on the ends, which is, you totally can. And that's an easier way to match up the color of the leather with the end, is to use a Sharpie. It's more of a reddish brown. You can, so on and so forth. I have a very picky youngest son about his jewelry, and his leather bracelet got wet and the Sharpie went onto his skin. So since then, I've used my thread burner to literally tan the hide or the leather. And while you do that, you don't want to burn it. You want to tan it. So you're just going to go to the part of your leather, and you're going to have it on both sides. But you're going to go to your leather, and you're just going to do tap, 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 tap. Kind of like if you've ever used a file on a dog or cat's nails. You don't want to hold it down and let it rotate. That hurts them. You do the tap, tap, tap whenever you're filing their nails that way. And that's what I do. And I like the end result better than the Sharpie method, but both are fine. I got a new thread burner that is rechargeable. It's very nice. Becky Foster from Beading with Becky and Jenny had it, used it for months, and then recommended it. And I know she doesn't recommend products she won't use. I'm worried we're not going to have enough leather for this unless I do a chain extender. Okay, I have 12 inches. I might have to do chain on the back because this is all the black I have left, but I want to make the bracelet with this leather. That's why I use the 3mm leather. So I'm just going to go down about an inch. I don't know, maybe 2 inches. Was that? Yeah, just about 2 inches. I'm going to grab my barrel knot tube, and I'm only going to do double knots on this one to preserve leather. So I'm just going to, when you're doing it and you're not wrapping around other leather, you're just going to go around the tube bead once and then twice. And when I was first starting out, I did have a hard time getting over to it when all I'm using is the tooth, when all I'm wrapping around is the tooth bead. So there were times that I had to switch hands to get that second wrap done. And it's totally doable. You can just hold on to your knot there, put the leather through, then kind of switch your hand back and pull that down into it. Like I said, I want to get this right at about 2 inches. Just like that. We're going to put on a turquoise bead. And everybody's going to pray to the jewelry gods that I have enough to make this bracelet. Do I want to do 2 more knots, or do I want to just do this? I think I have to do. No, I want the knots. Okay. You can also just do an overhand knot right there. Like I said, we're gonna pray to the jewelry gods if this works out. And before I even pull any tightness, I'm gonna wiggle this down without using my nail as far as I can, and I'm going to stretch it. And see how like the little crisscross looks? I like that. If you like the other side, that's perfectly okay. But there's that. All right, now we're going to put on our focal bead. And this is where I would typically use the curve tube. I'm just not going to today. I don't want to pull out a different one. Come on, come on. Give me. I really hope I have that. Put this on one last knot. This one's going to be tricky because it's a really big bead. Okay, when you're getting to the end of your leather, you're going to kind of push the tube, push the leather, push the tube, push the leather. Come down to the end. We're going to put this all the way up against that bead. We may have to trim the other side, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Gonna kind of just pull either side, not hard, just to relax the leather a little bit so that when it curves, it doesn't look wrong. I love the crisscross so much. Let's see. So from knot to end, I have exactly 2 inches. On this side, I have 1 3/4. So I'm going to cut 1/4 of an inch off of the other side, and now they're even. Now, there are a few ways that you can end this. You can put cord enders, which I don't think I have any in silver. Right here. I know I have the gold ones right here. There are several different cord enders you can use. And I'm not going to be able to finish this. Oh, I'm going to be sad. Okay. We're going to wrap it. But you could put cord enders on this and be good. And all those are is it would slide over the end and you would crimp it on, or there's the folding ones that you can use. I think I'm going to be happier if I wrap it versus if I were to not finish it. So you're just going to grab a piece of the 22 gauge wire that we used earlier. The end of the wire went up under the next row of wire. This one I probably will make neater, and I'm going to do it a little bit differently than I did on that. And that's because I'm going to start wrapping it before. Okay, so I do 2 wraps, and you can see those are really far apart and they're not down at the end. So obviously, I'm going to take my flat nose pliers, they're sitting in my drawer, and I'm going to squish these 2 wraps together on both sides. And then I'm very carefully, or not, because I made this really tight, which is what you want, unless you're trying to show how to wrap it. Okay. I might have just pulled it down too far. Yep. I'm going to pull out another piece of wire because if I run out, I'll be really upset. So, I'm just going to grab this. Start closer to your end where you want to end up with your wraps. I'm going to do a few more, obviously, just getting this started. That wire goes down. You're going to want to go in if you want the really neat look. Every turn to 2 turns, I'm going to miss that. And block that in wraps so it's not sticking out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back up just to make sure that this is nice and tight. And then I'm going to kind of go at a diagonal. Then you're going to grab your filmmaking pliers, run nose pliers, whichever, and you're going to make as big of a loop as you want. I'm going to do it. Well, I'm going to put this wire out. So I'm going to do the first step. I'm going to go down, around, and over. I probably didn't need to go down and back up. I could have, I wasn't thinking. It's all right. So I'm going to wrap a couple of times right here because now there's a big gap, but for the sake of saving time, I'm not going to redo this wrap. But I probably will after the fact. I just want to be honest with you. I'm going to put my Reynolds plier back on the mandrel and kind of got a little misshapen, so we're going to recenter it. And I'm not happy with that wrap at all, but I'll have to finish it later. And I'm not reading comments. All right, sorry. I use 3mm for the necklace. Yes. I know I can't edit a live, but even when I'm recording, I don't. Greek leather. It's beautiful to work with. Yeah, do you know where you get it? This leather, I thought it was 1.5mm, but I'm not entirely sure that is the case. Let me see if I see my. That popped there. In here. I might be wrong. It's either 1.5 or it's 2. So the original leather on the necklace was 3mm. I don't see the tool, the measuring tool. Oh my goodness, what am I trying to say? How do you measure the wire or the thickness of a bead or whatever? I know you guys know what I'm talking about. I just can't think of a word. You get some on eBay. Okay. Thought it sounded like a drug. Yeah. But I do promise you guys, I have tried a lot of leather. There's another source on Amazon called Conway, and I was good with, there was a color of theirs that I liked a lot. I can't even think the name of it, and it was really good leather. And then all of a sudden, the leather I started ordering from them got worse and worse and worse. It was not good quality at all. And so I asked Kelly Sutton where she got her leather, and she orders all of her leather from Leather Cord USA. So that's, she said that it's a better source than what she could find in Canada. So she would always order hers, or like when she came down for Tucson or whatever else, she would have it then. Okay, this is what I will likely do when I redo the other side. Because I wasn't thinking about the fact that I'm going to go, sorry, I wasn't thinking about the fact that I'm going to go this way after I make my loop. So this is much neater wrapping, which again, you can be totally organic with it, and I probably will be after I make my loop. I'm just doing the underneath more uniform because it makes a better wrap, like messy wrap even. Okay, and then I'm going to straighten this out just a little bit, but not too much, and then I'm going to bend it up. And use the first step for my loop. You want to put your loop right at the end of the leather, like so. And then this is where you can make your messy wrap, if that's what you want. And I have way too much wire, but that's okay. This is just going to motivate me to go make my Leather Cord USA order today. So, and this way, when you do it properly, like this, it looks more like cord end that you would get that's made by a machine and not your own tools, which our hands are our best tools in most instances. Come on, thank you. I've tried your technique, Linda, where you kind of like bend and wiggle and fold. I can't do it. Okay, so this is obviously not long enough for a bracelet. It's only coming around to right there, which is longer than I thought it would be. So I'm okay with that. And then you can add whatever kind of chain you want onto the back of this. If I had enough leather, it would have been knotted or macrame, so it was adjustable. But in this case, I didn't, obviously, I didn't have enough leather to do that. I almost switched to gray because I had a lot, but no, this is 2mm. Yeah, this is 2mm leather because it's the same diameter as this leather. So this is their gray, which I love. It reminds me of elephant skin, like the color, that's what it looks like. So it's really pretty. Did anybody say who it was that always asked about these? I think it's Cheryl. So yeah, we were both rocking. You can add some of the links you make. Yes, very true. I can. Well, let's do that right now. 20 gauge wire. For these links to do it, the way that I do it, you really only need about 1 to 1.5 inches of leather. I'm gonna grab my double. I want to grab my double flush cutters here. There. which I highly recommend. I don't know why, but I find it comforting to know that my ends are always flush cut and I don't have to do it each time. Okay, so let me think. Where are we going? Oh, yes. Okay. So I'm going to do the little loop on, how big do I want to make these? I think I want to make them smaller. So I'm going to grab my comfort care. I'm not using my micro ones because the ends of these ones, sorry, are bigger than my micro ones. And instead of worrying about having to go on the same spot of the plier, I'm just going to use the thicker barrels. And I'm just going to go to the very end of them. And you're just going to roll it back till it touches the wire, like so. Kind of overshot it. Yeah, it's okay. There's more than enough wire here to do it. So just to where you touch it. Then you're going to decide the size of your other loop. I'm going to use the second step. The reason I didn't use the first step and then the second step is because I think it makes the loop a little bit too big for my face. So you're going to put your loop away from the barrel you want to wrap around. You're going to go up. You're going to crisscross where that loop is. Then you're going to open your pliers and you're going to rotate it just enough that you can get this down so that you can wrap. You don't want to come up too far because then the simple loop isn't as nestled into the wraps. And then I go around and under, and then a second time. And I take it off and I snip it. And I like to snip on the side so there's not really a front and a back. And then sometimes those are not flat. You have to come in and kind of flatten this out because the second loop will kind of bend up a little bit. And I'll show you again. I won't need very many of these. And I will show you how to do it again. Put the tip of the wire to the tip of your pliers and wrap around until it meets back with the flat. I went a little bit off center for some reason. I don't know why. And then you're going to come to your bill making pliers and again up, around, and in front, just enough that you can pull the wire right under where the loop is. Down and around once, down and around twice, and then like I said, I like to cut it on the side of my loops. And these work up very quickly, especially if you're doing it assembly line style. So if you were doing all of your loops first. And I cut an odd number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Either side should be enough. I'm gonna have to put some of these in. So hopefully I remember. Okay, so you do all your loops, and then you go in and you do all of this part, which you don't even have to use your pliers for this part. You can use your fingers. I just like it with my pliers because they're, oh, I just went the wrong way. Oops. I don't know how I do that. Okay. Oh, that was the wrong. Goodness gracious, Heather. It's okay. Make that loop smaller. I went too far. I have to shrink the size of the wrap so it match. Okay. Up, over, across, turn slightly. You don't want them too close to the next size barrels. And then you can just go in and wrap it around once and twice. So there's 3. I need to make sure that I do. The perfect amount of wire. Okay, so I need to do the bottom ones around. Hold on a second. So if I do this, do I have to move it? One small. No, I should be okay with just opening the simple loop and redoing it. If I'm doing this correctly in my. I thought I cut enough of it up. If you go beyond and you don't cut it all the way up, it makes it more difficult to wrap. Cutting another piece of wire. Yeah, I go to show you guys assembly line style, and then I just leaves it all. It'll like get a little lost and flustered. Sorry. You can go around and do all of your loops, and this does actually save you time. I have recorded myself doing that, testing to see if everything, if it actually is faster to do assembly line style, and it is. And if you are doing like links that are joining each other, I have found that I tend to, we all do it. We go to do it and we forget to connect it. So then we have to do it all over again. I find I mess up less when I'm doing assembly line style than when I do one link at a time. Because I know that the next step in that process is to connect them. This is the side. I'm just gonna open them and attach them. I made 3 for each side because that seems like the right length. These ones need to be trimmed. Let me trim these ones and then we'll put them on the other side of the bracelet. And you see it, everything all finished. if you've had a problem with tool storage, let me know. I used the wooden blocks with the holes. I tried the like acrylic A-frame, everything, and it didn't work for me. And then I got the one I have now, which I don't want to show you because my desk is a mess right there. And I have had it for probably, oh no, you were going through. I've had it for probably 6 months and I really like it. Anytime I sit down to make jewelry, especially if I'm going to be recording it or going live, I like to do what I call resetting my space, because then I know that my tools, at least the first time I go to find them, I know where they're going to be. Doesn't last that long, by the way. By the time we get to the end, they're in my drawer or on the flat part of my keyboard. Okay, let's make sure that this is indeed long enough. We might need to make another link, which works out because then I can put the lobster clasp in, which I hope I, or we can just attach a hook and eye. I like these too. These are Beading. You can find them on Amazon. And they are silver plated. I really like them. As we were talking about in the beginning, I have to clean my hands with hand sanitizer before I start, so that it's my oils that tend to start patinia. I don't know how to say it. Starting the wire to patina through there, because the oils of my hands, that I can't do it. Okay, well, I have to do at least. I'm gonna make one more. I'm probably gonna take off the last one on one of these sides, so that it will get used to a different design then. And that way I can get. It's a little bit harder to wrap the loop this way, but it's not impossible. On this side, the loop opened, but I really like these because they are silver plated, but they also have a like natural little extender to them because they have that double loop, and it's about 1/4 of an inch. See, it's not hard. It's just not as easy as doing it directly on the tool from start to finish. There we go. We're going to take this last one on this side off. Or it won't be reused because I just marred that wire. Even when I look down, I don't always start trying to take the loop off the right way or lift up the right side. I try to be very careful until I figure it out. This one has a loop that I can open, so I don't have to redo one of the links on the other side. These are also very easy to get on and off. So, as I was saying, you have 2 little loops here, and even if you go into the second one, it still lays the way that it should. it doesn't like distort it or not lay flat. It does. I like my hooked face up, but that's me. But it's about a quarter of an inch difference. So let's see where we ended up on this. The last loop, it's at 7 1/4. If I put it into the first part of the infinity, it is right at 7 inches. And if you're doing links like this, you can also go into here and it'll be shorter. And then this can swing down and you can put a dangle on it. So I would probably put a dangle on one of them, but I'd probably hang it from right here below the hook on this side. But there we go. We have our bracelet, our earrings, and our necklace with these beautiful golden beads. It's a very pretty set. I love the color combinations. I really like that. So yes, I symbol for it, right? Steve, where is he? Yes, I know I did. I'm sorry. I apologize that I was out of frame. I got a little flustered and I wasn't paying attention. So I apologize for that. I hope you all saw how to make the link. I can make another one right now. If I was out of frame the whole time, I thought where I had my hands placed, I was on camera. So I apologize. That wasn't my intention, obviously. The only thing that I haven't shown you is how I finish off my leather knot, which is to use. And you can use I prefer to use GS Hypo when it comes to gluing my knots because it dries rubbery, so it has more movement. Whereas if you use Loctite, it would, or other like, what is the word I'm looking for? Other like super glues, they dry and can crack, which if it does that, it doesn't look as nice. And B, it will take the color off with it. Now, you're gluing the leather into a cord end. Use Loctite because it has a stronger hold because it's not rubbery. So I use US Hypo, and instead of gluing on both ends, I put the tip directly inside the knot and squish a little bit of glue. And I only tend, I'm going to wipe the excess glue off of there, do a little swish inside. I only knot the end knot, or I only glue the end knots. I don't worry about any knots in the middle of the project. Oh, I do not have that light turned on very high, so I cannot see where the hole in the end of this is. There. Plus, I prefer GS Hypo because the fact that because it is rubbery, if I like rub my fingers, it'll come off and then they don't blister as bad. But that's how I like to glue my knots. And I'll do it on the earrings as well. And then I'll go and I'll tan the ends on the earrings because the ends of these are already wrapped up as well as this. So I'm trying to get better about staying on camera. Today was just I don't know. I try to get better. And I can tell you why I go off camera when the light's like this, because I only have the one light and I don't have light coming over on this side as well. It's harder for me to see, so I pull it closer to me so that I can see better because I'm old and need my grandma glasses or my Gigi glasses, I mean, um, to see what I'm doing. So that's why I was going out of frame so much today. But if I have the overhead light on, we get all of the shadows on the desk, which I don't like, and then you guys can't really see. But yeah, I will tell you, putting it up against your finger like that, I found is the easiest way to do it instead of just holding and trying to go like that. Because probably like 4 or 5 times when I was pushing it in, I pierced and it like went off to the side and came out of the tube of glue, and then the tube had to go in the garbage. And they're like $7, $8 a piece, so I was not a happy camper about that. But alrighty. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. I know that, Georgina. I'm not taking any of it any kind of way. So I don't want you to think that I'm upset or anything else because I'm not. Yes, you're right. This would go really pretty with my moo. It's summertime. It's the coolest thing to wear. Get ready. I have 4 other ones in my cart. Because I accidentally like ripped this side, like when I went to get up and didn't feel my foot or whatever reason. So a couple of them are a little more risque, and those are the ones that I wear in the house and don't go out in public with. So I need to get some new ones. But yeah, during the summertime, it gets really hot here, and it is the coolest thing for me to wear because I literally feel like I don't really have clothes on, so it goes good. You have 3 feet of snow. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you like your order, Kim. That makes me happy. Um, I'm trying to think what else I was going to say. So I will work out with Vlad and Tammy when the sale will likely be. Um, I think that there are going to be pieces that might be better to like auction or sets that would be better to auction. I really like that idea, Tammy. Um, and then I'll just confirm them with that it'll be okay. And we will get some of these gorgeous beads into your hand. They're a lot of fun to work with, especially if you like knotting and leather work because they have the whole size that allows you to do so. They go onto 2 millimeter leather easily. You might even be able to get 2.5 in there. I'm sitting here looking at the giveaway one. I don't think the 3 millimeter would go through these, but let me test it real quick so that I know and you know for the future. Where did I put the 3 millimeter leather? Of course. I had it right here. Oh, there it is. It's in the box with the bead. Let's see here. So, you guys can all thank Kim Evans for the fact that we are having a misfit sale at all. It's just too small, just barely too small to go on 3 millimeter leather. At least those ones. These ones go on, but you have to like push it. I will tell you, you can increase the hole size on these beads pretty easily. Just be careful when you do it. Go slow. Use one of these files instead of like my rotary tool. I would be scared to use that to do it, but I think because they are ceramic, they're not difficult to put holes in. So or to increase the hole size. But aw, thank you, Gracia. Aw, I appreciate that. I love you, ladies. You guys are the best. You guys show up for me. You guys are like my ride or dies. And that's why when you guys aren't here, I'm like, where are people? And so I'm just happy that I have you guys in my corner. You guys are the reason I'm still doing this. Otherwise I'd be talking to myself, but it wouldn't be recorded. So it'd be a little weird, right? Anyways, okay, so I will definitely see you Wednesday night. If I'm feeling up to it tomorrow, I'll go live. So it doesn't hurt to come check. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. I had to take a step back because I was literally recording or going live 7 days a week when I had a sale, 6 days a week when I didn't. And it got to be a little bit overwhelming. So I kind of had to like a couple steps back, but it's good now. I'm doing pretty good. If I wouldn't have had the family thing last night, we would have been on. So we're gonna do the boho beads on Wednesday night, which is gonna be a lot of fun. So you have that to look forward to. And I will see you guys all then, if not before then. I hope you guys all have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.